Let's talk about the Subaru Impreza hatch that is going to be new for 2024. So gone for this model is going to be the sedan, and I think this is a good move for Subaru because many brands tend to discontinue the hatchback rather than the sedan, and Subaru is bucking this trend. And as we know, the hatchback offers more practicality. In many cases, it looks better looks. But let's get to the styling. The styling is very similar to the Crosstrek, which was revealed first. And the Crosstrek, as we know, is essentially a lifted Subaru Impreza hatch. So it's not surprising. If you watch my previous Crosstrek video, I definitely go over everything about that, and I'll leave a card right up here or here somewhere. But the biggest design change is no cladding, which means that Subaru found some budget for paint. Meaning that if you like body-colored paint on your fenders rather than plastic, then this is definitely an option for you. The grille is pretty much the same here, but the chrome bars that's on the Crosstrek is now gone for a black piece, at least on this RS trim. There's also the elimination of cladding on the front here as well, which means the look is just really clean compared to the Crosstrek, and the fog lights, in my opinion, are better integrated to the bumper compared to the Crosstrek. The headlights, again, they're just like the Mazda 2. They're the same off the Crosstrek. The wheels are gloss black, and the side mirrors are gloss black as well. It's specifically for this RS trim. Other models will get body-colored mirrors and also regular alloy wheels. The back in general looks so much cleaner than the Crosstrek, and we get these similar style lobster claw headlights similar to the 2018 Accord. Top trim RS buyers will also get unique RS badging for whatever that's worth to you. I wouldn't call this a good looking vehicle, but it definitely looks better than the previous Impreza hatch, and it looks a lot better than the equivalent Crosstrek. I wish they had used this as the foundation of the current WRX. So performance-wise, this is based on the Subaru Global Architecture platform. For the 2024, the Impreza has better rigidity. It gets 10% higher torsional rigidity. The base and sport trims are going to be equipped with their 2-liter 4-cylinder direct injection Subaru Boxster engine, producing 152 horsepower and 145 pound-feet of torque. This means that there won't be the mild hybrid setup that the other Japanese markets gets, which is kind of disappointing, and this basically also confirms the powertrain choices for the upcoming Crosstrek as well. RS buyers will be upgraded to a 2.5-liter Boxster engine delivering 182 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. This is fairly competitive with like the Mazda 3 and the Honda Civic 1.5-liter engine. I'm sure the gas mileage will probably be a little bit worse. But either way, any engine you choose will get the Lineartronic CVT transmission, meaning that the manual transmission that was once on the Impreza is now no more. And this is fairly disappointing considering that the RS is supposed to be a sporty model and Subaru decided not to include it here, but it's not surprising to say the least as well. The Sport and RS models get paddle shifters that can mimic 8 speeds. All Imprezas will get the all-wheel drive torque vectoring system. The 2024 Impreza also receives a version of the WRX dual-pinion electric power steering rack. Subaru says that they will offer a more direct and natural steering feel and greater responsiveness, but I think it's funny that they say that because when I was watching these Subaru WRX reviews, I think the steering is actually one of the complaints and how it doesn't feel as good as something like the SI, for example. Sport and RS trim levels are going to be equipped with a sport-tuned suspension, which means they'll likely have a stiff and rough ride. Safety-wise, Subaru EyeSight has received the same updates that the Crosstrek has, meaning a wider field of view camera. It can now identify bicycles and pedestrians at intersections sooner and apply the brakes when necessary. Now let's move on to the interior. And it looks just as good as the Crosstrek does, which means I think it doesn't look great at all. New is going to be these red seats on the RS trim. I think these seats actually look pretty comfortable overall and are designed to be more ergonomical for your back, assuming they're similar to the Crosstrek. The steering wheel is going to be leather wrapped with red contrast stitching, which is actually a nice touch. You do get the same 11.6-inch display that comes equipped with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. Reviews have said that it's sort of laggy and mediocre. But if you don't get that in the lower trims, I'd probably expect that dual screen setup that we get in the base WRX, and that looks absolutely atrocious. I don't like the gloss black by the lever, which means that it's an area that you'll be touching regularly. For example, putting drinks in the cup holders, using the shift lever, stuff like that. It's just going to scratch really easily, and I think that Subaru could have used a matte plastic in this section as well. The rest of the interior is pretty plasticky, and by that I mean sort of a drag plastic. You know, other brands are able to make the plastic look pretty good, but Subaru just doesn't do it. And out of all the compact interiors on the market, it just looks dated to me. Pretty much similar with the exterior as well. Like, this looks like it could have came out in like 2018 in my opinion. But let's get into the packaging. There are 3 trims, the base, sport, and the RS. Subaru probably did this to keep some distance between the upcoming Crosstrek. The previous Impreza had around 7 trims. All trims include fairly basic features such as power door locks, power windows and side mirrors, welcome lighting, remote keyless access, tire pressure monitoring system with individual wheel display, and 60/40 folding for the rear seats. The tire pressure monitoring system is actually an underrated feature because most brands just have it to where it'll tell you that one of your tires is deflated, but not which one specifically it is, and it's your job to figure that out. But so that's a pretty nice feature. That's a luxury car tier feature for Subaru. The sport trim is going to add the Starlink 11.6-inch multimedia display with the wireless systems, as I said before, keyless access with push button start, and fog lights as well. Then we get to the top of the line RS, which includes the Harman Kardon 10 speaker system, power moonroof, 10-way front driver seats with lumbar supports, and dark finishes around the LED lights and LED fog lights, upgraded leather wrap steering wheel and shifter, aluminum alloy pedals, heated front seats, and rear USB charge ports. You also get an upgrade in safety as well, with blind spot detection, with lane change assist, and rear cross traffic alert. It seems like any upgrades that are luxury-wise or safety-wise, you'll have to get the RS. The sport trim is a fairly minor upgrade. So in conclusion, would I get this over a Civic hatch, a Corolla hatch, or even a Prius? Probably not. Really, the only thing that this does is that it offers all-wheel drive at a fairly cheap price. The only other vehicles that offer all-wheel drive are going to be the Mazda 3, which is going to be better looking, better interior. I think the space is going to be smaller off the top of my head, but I would rather get the Mazda 3 over this, but that is going to cost a lot more money, and this is going to be your cheaper way into all-wheel drive. The next is going to be the Corolla Hybrid Hatch, and again, that's going to include all-wheel drive, but it's not a hatch, and also it's not really fully mechanical. It's more of an electric motor sending a small amount of power to the rear wheels. So it's not really going to be the same level of all-wheel drive as the Subaru WRX. But that's pretty much the only benefit that this has to me over any other vehicle. Otherwise, I'll pick any other vehicle, or I'll just upgrade to like a CX-30 or something and get all-wheel drive or HRV. But that's just my opinion. You guys tell me what you think about the Subaru Impreza down below. Right below that like button, and be sure to respond to you guys as well. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.